Hello, family, friends, anybody who comes across this. This is my new vlog for my year of service with the Lasallian Volunteers. I was thinking of a way to try to stay in touch with people, kind of tell them about my program, how I'm doing, and people do blogs, people write in journals, and I kind of lazy when it comes to that stuff. So I thought, what better way to keep people informed than to just talk about it? But instead of calling up everybody, telling them each individually, why not make a vlog for you out there who might not know what that is? It's a video blog, so I'm just gonna talk to my computer every once in a while and then put it up on YouTube or email it to family members and stuff. So this is my vlog about my year as a Lasallian volunteer. Now, most of my friends in Chicago, my friends back home in St. Louis, and my family members probably have no idea what it is. And granted, I didn't know what it was before 2 weeks ago. I first heard about it in September when it all started. I don't know. So, in this video, I want to talk to you about a couple things. So I'm going to start with why I ended up wanting to do a year of service and how all that happened. So a big emphasis at Loyola and a big emphasis within the School of Education is, social justice. We have all these problems. You're going to be a teacher, so let's do something about it. And so we talked about it a lot, we wrote about it a lot, and I really wanted to make a difference, and I knew that I could do that through education. But then thinking about and searching for options of what I was going to do after graduation, something was missing, and I wasn't sure how I could actually do something about the problems and make a difference in the world. And so I stumbled upon a postgraduate service or a volunteer fair and found the Lasallian Volunteers, and it sounded like a cool program. And the thing about them is that all of the schools that they are based in, amongst other things, are in very urban, not always urban or rural, low income, kind of decrepit, rundown neighborhoods where children are in most need of school support, of emotional support, of guidance in many forms. And the more that I talked to the people within the program as I was interviewing and getting to know them, it started sounding like this is a pretty cool program. This sounds exactly like what I want to do. And I didn't even think that after graduation I wanted to do a year of service, but it just felt right. And before starting my career, I wanted to do something a little different, so this is what I'm doing. And I ended up getting accepted and placed in San Francisco, California. So I'm here now. This is my room. Okay, so I hadn't heard about, I knew that the Brothers of the Christian Schools existed because there's a high school in St. Louis named after them. But other than that, I didn't know anything about them. So I have some visuals here, being the nerdy girl and the teacher that I am. It all started with this guy. This is St. John Baptist de La Salle. Now, he was like a priest in the 1700s in France, who took a notice to all the poor, orphaned, homeless boys who weren't receiving an education. Now, they had schools, but they were for the rich, fancy boys. I say boys because they didn't teach girls at this time. And so he started opening schools specifically for the poor, and was the first guy to train teachers how to be good people and how to care about their students and all this and all that. And so by doing that, he would invite them over for dinner and started hosting events with the teachers of this school, with the men who were teaching at these schools. And then from there, it's like maybe one night a week isn't enough. Let's do every night of the week. And eventually it formed into, they all ended up living together. And then eventually they petitioned Rome to start an order, not of priests, but of religious men who were dedicated to education, primarily the education of the poor. And that's how the Brothers of the Christian Schools were founded. And so today, I have a map. So this is the map. They have schools and services all over the world. Now they don't just function in schools. They have like rehabilitation centers. They have, in the United States at least, they have a couple centers focused on immigration and adjusting to living in a new country kind of stuff. They help with like human trafficking, youth who are incarcerated and adjudicated. So they do a ton of stuff all over the country, and they're like right down in there, working with the people, helping the people who need it. And so that's what, after learning about it, sounded super cool to me. So that's about St. John Baptist Day of the South. I keep getting my sides mixed up. Now I'm still learning about what is called the Lasallian charism, which is like their mission and their ideology and all this and all that. And there's a lot to it that I still don't know too much about. But what is complicated for me to explain when I tell people where I'm living is what is a part of the three pillars that all Lasallian brothers live by, and the volunteers and the other lay members in the Lasallian community live by. So the three pillars are faith. Obviously, we're here not for ourselves, obviously for the people we're working with, but for a higher purpose, to serve God and to love God and to spread that, spread our faith. The second is service, obviously to serve the people. So we're not doing it for ourselves, trying to help people. And the third is community. Now, one of the buzzwords of the Lasallian charism or whatever is an intentional community. So when other people in other programs go to their sites, they live in a community with the other volunteers. Maybe they have a coordinator or someone who is employed by the program that lives in their house, kind of thing. They live together in that way. What is unique about the Lasallian volunteers and the Lasallian community is that the volunteers live with the brothers. So I know it sounds super weird, but it's really not. It's super cool. So I am living in a big house on the grounds of a Lasallian high school called Sacred Heart Cathedral High School. I think there's a prep in there. And I'm living with a couple of brothers who work at the high school, one brother who helps out at the middle school that I work at, and two postulates, which are young brothers as they're not like full-fledged brothers. I don't really know how that works, but they're in the process of becoming full brothers. And it's an intentional community, meaning we are working to live together in this kind of way. And it's really great because, we have the other teachers at the schools to talk to and to vent to and to bounce ideas around. And obviously we have the other volunteers that we're living and working with. But since all of the brothers are teachers, we can come home and say, can you believe what happened today? I had this amazing breakthrough and yada, yada, yada. And they'll follow you every step of the way. Or you can come home and say, I'm really struggling with this student or this class. Can you help me? What do you suggest? And they have all these years of experience that they can pull from.